welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
And in our game tonight, we've got the Chicago Bulls against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. And you look at Lauri Markkanen, a 7-footer known for his ability to stretch the floor, but Shaq, he's provided much more than that.
Let me tell you something. I like this kid's game. Better rebounding than some people thought. Getting stronger and stronger every year. He's even giving them some points in the post.
You know what? I was talking to my friends yesterday about this. And if you look back at that first Jimmy Butler trade, many people thought the Wolves got a steal. Meanwhile, the Bulls added Levine, Dunn, Markkanen, and you tell me which team is happier.
Excellent point. Thanks for joining us here. As we wrap it up, we will promise to see you later.
The Chicago River winding its way through the heart of the Windy City. Our sight tonight. Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. This is Kevin Harlan, and joining me tonight, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, with our Hall of Famer David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Look at Philadelphia. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And right now, Chicago, they've been sinking on this list to start out the year. Not what they or really anyone else expected, but that's why you play the game.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, DeMar DeRozan is a prolific scorer, but he's also a dangerous drive and kick weapon. He said, "I never pay attention to the defender guarding me. I look at the 4 guys behind him and how they react. A lot of times I don't even look to score. I draw 3 or 4 guys and get my teammates open shots." Kevin?
Great vision. David, thank you. Chris, a lot of expectations, high expectations when you're the #1 overall pick in the draft. You know it well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's something that I wanted. Derek Coleman was from Detroit, and 2 years earlier, he was the #1 pick, and I'd always been a fan of his, so I felt like he was passing the baton, and I had to kind of do what he did. And then Shaquille O'Neal was Rookie of the Year before myself and the #1 pick. And so for me, I looked at it as, a pretty big weight, but the honor was more than the weight, and I was honored to be picked #1, and I relished in that, and I had great teammates that allowed me to flourish in that role.
And a look at the starters for San Antonio. It's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. White is out there with Murray, and it's DeRozan in at the 3. And for the Bulls, they've got Levine. Tristan Thompson is out there with Kevin Love. Then there's Oubre, and it's Rubio in at the 1 spot. The San Antonio Spurs able to put the first points up on the board. Here's Love, and it's sent back by Aldridge. DeRozan in the corner. White, wide open, he fires. Pirtle, the pass to DeRozan. That one drops for him.
And when Pirtle sees one of his guys wide open, he whips it his way. He's all for doing what's best for the team.
The pass to Thompson. Shoots over Pirtle. Here's Love. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That one on Jakob Pirtle.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Love's been a reliable, durable player for a long time in this league, a contributor year in and out.
And he makes both free throws.
And see, Webb, you talk to the Bulls fans, and they are eager for a return to greatness.
Yeah, GA, it's been a long time since the Jordan era, and Bulls fans know it. But you know, GA, the Bulls have a very loyal group of fans. Their patience has been tested, though, but this team needs results.
It's common to see wing players improve their perimeter shooting in the league, but DeMar DeRozan's most striking growth has been his ball handling and playmaking. He's been dynamic with the ball in his hands.
Now, here's Oubre. 11 points for him in that last game against the Wizards in Washington.
Yeah, and his energy level in that game was amazing. He did all that work offensively and controlled the boards, too. They've come out with guns a-blazing. 4 for 5 on the field. They've got the D, really.
And Greg DeRozan watching a ton of films of guys like Andre Miller and Sam Cassell operating in the pick and roll.
Not only that, Kevin, to strengthen his left hand, he'd use it for daily activities like writing, leaving no stone unturned to become an expert initiator.
And it's stolen by Ricky Rubio. Fires from deep. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
And you can see the brakes slowed down for him to kind of pick his spot, and boy, was he open.
And that's a foul called on Kelly Oubre. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Passes it to Aldridge. And stolen by Love.
All right, playing the little cornerback there. Anticipates the pass and jumps the route.
Pass to Thompson. Shoots over Pirtle. The shot by Thompson, no good. And Murray's got the ball here for the Spurs. White with it, picked up by Thompson. To the inside. Nice shot by Pirtle.
When Pirtle gets the rock deep inside, the D is toast. Can't allow him to get comfortable from there.
Pass to Levine. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Kicks it to Oubre. Down to 5 on the shot clock. That gives them the lead. Oubre's got 8. San Antonio trailing here. Now here's White. Open jump shot off the mark. And Levine, here we go. The layup missed.
That's a shot they're always happy to get, even when he blows the finish.
Murray finds DeRozan, and he banks in the layup. 9 points in the game so far.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. And the Spurs with some changes. The Bulls have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. White. And again, no good by Chicago. The Spurs have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them. Here's Bellinelli. Rebound collected by Clarkson.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Markkanen can't get it to go. San Antonio leading. Over to the wing. Lyles with a wide open look. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. Now the feed to Stevenson. Here's Sharch. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
That's just sheer will. I mean, even when you body Sark, I mean, he stays after it and tries to score.
Gay passes to Bellinelli. No good with the triple.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Here's Sharch. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
But you got to respect the interior game with Sark. I mean, he's solid at using his size to his advantage down there.
Carroll against Stevenson. Here's Bellinelli. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Shot clock at 5. Here's Carroll. Good D by Stevenson. Here's Chicago. They're on a 14-4 run. Clarkson and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And going to the free throw line will be Clarkson. Confident move there.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. And both free throws good for Clarkson.
His free throw shooting is something they never need to worry about. He doesn't even know how to go through a cold streak.
Here's Mills. That shot off. So the Bulls will take it the other way. And here comes White, leading the fast break. Shots good by Clarkson.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
Yeah, and Greg, they've been a more cohesive team over this stretch, and then that helps account for their lead.
Here's Markkanen. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
And the touch from Markkanen there, I like how he keeps his body control on these tricky buckets.
Now here's Mills. White covering. And here's Mills. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Shoots it. They get it again. Here's Carroll. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. The Spurs shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And take a look back at last season, and what a season it was for them from the free throw line. 82% as a group.
Good if it goes. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's the Chicago Bulls heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And in 2018, DeMar DeRozan opened up about his battles with depression, hoping to have a positive impact on others.
A lot of people ashamed to talk about it. Even myself, for a long period of time, people wonder why I was such a quiet guy, and that was part of it, not wanting to speak out about it, not wanting other people to know exactly what I was going through. But you get to a certain age where you feel like it's all about helping others. It's not about you just being a selfish person about the things you're going through. Other people going through stuff as well.
Yep, you love the honesty and the bravery to step forward and tell his emotional story.
Yeah, he opened a dialogue. Kevin Love following his lead to talk about anxiety. Athletes as public figures can have a broader impact than just entertaining, and we see it over and over again.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Bulls?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Setting the pace early, GA. I like this aggressive mind state. I love this approach so far.
On the court for San Antonio. Hills at point with Bellinelli. They're the backcourt. Jamari Carroll is out there with Rudy Gay. And it's Lyles in at the center, filling out the middle. Gay. Basket good. Gay's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Spurs.
And the wily athleticism of Gay helps him in these situations. Just so clever at finding ways to bury shots against defenders.
And he makes that one. And the Bulls lead by 7. Chris, the NBA has flattened now the draft lottery odds. And now that you've seen it at work, seen it in play, any additional changes you might make?
Well, you know, Kev, I still a wait and see for me. I definitely like the NBA making sure they try to address the problem. You never want a team to think that they can be rewarded for losing. So I like what we've done so far, but, you know, if I'm a GM, if I'm a president, I'm always going to try to find ways to manipulate and find that, you know, those open gray areas. And so I think this is something we're always going to have to address, but I love the fact the NBA has gotten ahead of the problem.
Well, like the Clippers of a year ago, they looked like, gosh, they've lost all their superstars, but they gave it such a great go. They actually made the playoffs.
Yeah, and it started from the top. I mean, Mr.
Right.
Barmer said, listen, we do not want to lose. We're going to go in and we're going to play hard. And I tell you what, I think that that's what rewarded them during free agency by able to go out recruit players and say, listen, we don't lose here. We just need you to take us over the top. And I think that's a pretty good recruiting thing.
And they've been very loose with the ball here. They haven't been as patient, forcing things a bit, which has led to turnovers. They need to just slow down and relax.
San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Already a lot of talk about who's going to take part in the three-point contest this season, and here's a look at the players most likely to make it.
And so many great shooters in the NBA these days, and these guys, quite frankly, the best of the best. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a scoring record broken in this year's competition.
Well, you look at Oubre, he's going to need to leapfrog quite a few great shooters if he's going to be a part of the three-point festivities in All-Star Weekend, but, maybe he can do it.
I mean, anything's possible, especially if he has a few big games from beyond the arc before All-Star Weekend. That'd give him a nice bump in the voting.
And we'll keep you posted as we find out more, and as we get closer to the three-point contest once we have our final list of official contestants.
Yeah, it's going to be very competitive. That's the one thing we all know. We've got an incredible group of long-distance shooters in this league right now. And in a league that's obsessed with threes and layups, LaMarcus Aldridge defying the trend, really feasting on a steady diet of mid-range jumpers. Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
And Rubio kicks to Levine over White. And misses it off the right side of the rim. And that turn. Oh!
Easy to see why Levine won the dunk contest in 2016. I mean, he has endless ups.
Here's Murray up on top, covered by Rubio. And now with the fast break, Rubio with the ball. Whistle blows, bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
Man, how about then not settling? I mean, instead of being lazy with the shot selection, they go right to the rim.
And, for all the talk about Rubio's passing, I think one thing that gets overlooked is his defense. Both his on-the-ball and defensive rebounding are very strong for the point guard position.
Now here's DeRozan. He had 15 points last outing. Murray, good.
Yeah, field goal percentage above 50 now. Their offense is starting to show.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, my cousin LaMarcus Aldridge is not the flashiest player, but he is respected. His former teammate in Portland, C.J. McCollum, said he hasn't changed his game to try and fit the new NBA. He shoots mid-range, scores under the basket, strong as heck. He knows who he is. And Kevin, LaMarcus isn't really my cousin, but his game never goes out of style.
You're right, D.A., and he is still getting it done. Thank you. Now here's Thompson. Shoots over White. Thompson with the bucket. Thompson's got his first basket of the night.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Outside, White. Rubio against Murray. Unloads from 13. Out to DeRozan. They get a hand on it. Out to the wing. The three. No good. And the Bulls going the other way now. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. And that will be the middle game of this three-game homestand.
And the Stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target. You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Outside, Levine. Love finds Thompson. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Levine for three. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge has got 4 rebounds in this game. The wide open look here for DeRozan. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. DeRozan's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Spurs. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And making his return from the ACL tear, DeJounte Murray long, athletic, and young. He still has a very bright future.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Now here's Stevenson. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. He kicks it to White. Markkanen down low. Lyles there. Markkanen can't get it to go. Spurs trail by 9. To the left side wing. Here's Mills. Softly drops in the floater. Mills has got his first bucket in this one.
That's just great touch. The teardrop, well, that's all about feel.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And the foul goes against San Antonio. For Chicago, they have been good at the line so far, 5 of 5.
Former first-team All-Rookie after being picked in the second round. Clarkson, a draft day steal.
And the wide open shot from Bellinelli. And the 3 off target. The Bulls leading by 8. Here's Clarkson. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. The Bulls have put up good numbers at the charity stripe, converting 6 of 7. And he makes the first. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Saric against Gay. That's a 2 from Bellinelli. No good on the last second attempt there.
You see right there the potential Clarkson has on the defensive end?
And so it's Chicago.
Thanks very much, Ricky. Bench has always been an issue here. When they produce like they did in the first half, how does that help you?
It's amazing. That means like we have a deep bench, and then a lot of work from the staff, from the everybody of the team, like doing extra work and winning games.
Trying to change the culture around here. Thanks, Ricky. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you back here on our halftime show. Well, actually, we can't see you, but you can see us, but you get it. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Chicago holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They lead by 10. How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
Kenny, how do you think San Antonio played?
They're being far less aggressive than they ought to be. The free throw differential is huge right now. It's threatening to determine the outcome of the game. So they have to get into the lane and challenge defenders to make them try to stop you.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast through the game. A fantastic game from DeMar DeRozan so far.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
And it's Love with the ball for the Bulls. Oubre out there with Kevin Love. Then it's Zach LaVine. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Thompson in at the 5. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Now here's Love. Trying to get open is Thompson. And it's Love missing.
Nothing less than that kind of defense will cut it against them. That's just great work inside.
And Ricky Rubio gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
DeRozan surveying the D. And finished off by DeRozan.
And you want
want to talk about high-volume scores, just look at what DeRozan's doing tonight. He's been on a mission, putting his mark on this game in a big way.
Now, here's Thompson. And he overshot that one, missing.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
And White slams it in.
That should give them a nice little jolt.
Yeah, it has to. They need a jolt, GA.
Hey, guys, you think he was sending a message on that one? He doesn't like losing.
And the Bulls with another miss.
But this is not the start they wanted coming out of the break. 0 for 3 so far, and they're not playing with much intensity. A golden opportunity that he can't make good on. Maybe a wake-up call to the D, though. They can't leave him alone like that.
Chris, when you look around the league, who do you feel is the most universally liked player in the league?
That's a good one, because so many players with great stories. How about Derrick Rose? Fighting all those injuries, coming back, having a 50-point game, becoming a leader again there in Minnesota. The youngest MVP ever, watching his ups and downs. Luka Doncic, how about that guy? That's just from excitement of play. The fact that he's just infused this Dallas team with energy and fun. It's so much fun watching him. And then you got to go with the elder statesman. In other words, we call him the old head where I'm from, and that's Vince Carter. If you don't love Vince Carter, something's wrong with you, because he's the line in the sand from Dr. J, Dominique, Jordan, and those dunkers to anything that's happening today. Vince Carter, he's the man.
On the wing, Levine, White covering, takes the three, and Rubio gets it to go on the assist by Levine. Rubio's got the lead up to 14 now for the Bulls. The Spurs have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Murray against Rubio. Pirtle kicks to White. Spurs working the ball around now. Here's Aldridge looking to end the run.
Bulls foul. Kevin Love. That's his first personal foul.
The Spurs have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. Chris, the other day, Adam Silver has been talking about how the All-Star game, that system, is not working. He's been proactive in considering alternatives. What do you think?
Well, I love what he's done already. Let's think about the All-Star game in 2019. Letting guys pick their players like old school on the park. I mean, that adds a little bit of ego, and that's what you want, because we want competition. We want guys that like each other, don't like each other, that are playing against each other, that we're in the finals against each other. We want all that competition, all that mental game that goes into it. And so I love the fact that he's outspoken, that he's definitely ahead of the problem. But I think he did a great job by letting players pick their teammates, because that already causes a little in-team drama that we'll see play out on the floor with how hard guys are playing.
Chicago making some changes. Markkanen, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Sharch comes in for Kevin Love. And it's White in for Ricky Rubio. Spurs also with the sub. Mills, he's checked in for Derek White.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
White the pass to Sharch. White looking around. Levine can't hit.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
And stolen by White. Shot! And White slams it in.
And you can argue this is White at his best. Just an absolute terror in transition.
Spurs trail by 14. Now Mills. There's the pass to DeRozan. Lets it go from 14. Here's Aldridge. And another shot. No good that time. Excellent D there from Markkanen. Levine dishes to Markkanen. Count that one. Markkanen's got his second bucket of the night.
Capable of doing many things well. Levine has a good sense of when his guys are open.
Mills with it, passes to Carroll. Inside, here's DeRozan, makes it off the glass. DeRozan's got 6 points in the quarter.
He's got the hot hand right now. As long as he can keep getting open, they've got to keep feeding him.
Left side, Saric. Stolen by Gay. And Zach LaVine gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Lance Stevenson's checked in for the Bulls. Clarkson comes in for LaVine. Lyles checked in for San Antonio. Bellinelli comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Here's Carroll. The 19-footer is on the money.
And that's his role. That's where Carroll's at his best, the catch and shoot.
Down low and stolen by Gay. The dish to Mills. Here's the teardrop, and the layup is up and in. Mills has got his second basket.
Good anticipation on the feed. He knows exactly where to go with that ball.
Clarkson on the wing, over Bellinelli. The shot by Clarkson, no good. Spurs trail by 10.
Bulls foul. Jordan.
The Spurs shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
Personal foul.
And he knocks down the first one. Zach LaVine's checked in for the Bulls.
2 shots.
And both free throws good for Mills.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Pass to Saric, over Gay. Saric, that's good. Saric has got 6.
Oh, you can't let Saric get comfortable shooting from mid-range. I mean, once this happens, it's a wrap.
Gay against Saric. Now here's Gay. Over Markkanen. And the last-second attempt doesn't fall.
And it helps whenever Saric is this active on defense, wanting to make a difference on this end.
And so it's the Chicago Bulls going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. And we'll be back with you shortly. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, he put it on a platter, and it was served cold. Now, I love the poise, the decisiveness. This is how you run an offense.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this 4th period holds in store for us. And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for San Antonio. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. On the floor for San Antonio starting the 4th quarter, we've got Murray. Trey Lyles out there with Rudy Gay. Then there's Pirtle, and it's Bellinelli in at the shooting guard. Chicago leading by 10. Pass to Clarkson. Pirtle against Thompson. LaVine looking around. Clock at 6. Shoots over Lyles. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
It's encouraging whenever LaVine connects from mid-range. I mean, he's showing he wants to get better from there.
Murray kicks to Lyles. 4th quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Stolen by Rubio. There's the lob to Markkanen. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Oh, nice looking pass right there. When LaVine is working it around, it helps tie the team together.
Spurs trail by 14. Knocks it loose. And it's Rubio penetrating. It's hauled in by Lyles. The Spurs shooting well. They're at 45%. Shot from free throw range. Tries again, and Pirtle lays it up and in.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. The NBA fans sometimes called the sixth man. Chris, talk about what a difference a raucous crowd, a home crowd, can make for a team and a player.
Well, I could talk about that from my experience, but let's talk about from my experience first. Sacramento, we had a lady called Sign Lady. Now, of course, she had a real name, but she says, just call me Sign Lady. She would make the most beautiful signs. Vlade, we believe in you. Peja, every shot is good. She make them creatively. They be bright, they be big, and we looked for her for encouragement. The cowbells, how loud everyone there was. Some first-time gamers saying, this is my first game coming to watch. Go win, Chris, or people that's been like, I've never missed a game. You want to do it for the fans, how loud they are, how they get on the teams, how they get on the refs. You got to love it. And then for the rest of the league, oh, my God. Last year in the playoffs, going to the Milwaukee Bucks, their home arena, that new arena they have there, oh, crazy. You want to talk about crazy fans? Go out to Toronto and hang outside with 10,000 crazy fans in the rain while they're singing and shouting and having fun over there in Jurassic Park. And we all know about the great fans that Golden State had all their years in Oracle, some of the most loyal fans ever. The sixth man, the fans being the sixth man, that is not a cliche, that is not made up for PR purposes. That's true and real, and some of the best players will tell you how those fans have taken them over the top, giving them energy to win some games.
Yeah, a lot of energy.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Jim Boylan was going over with his team. He loves the aggressiveness on D. He said we're doing a great job of challenging everything they're trying to do. Stay active, talk to each other, don't let up. Kevin?
Thompson with the bucket, and the Bulls lead by 17.
Look, this is where Thompson feels comfortable, shooting very close to the rim. He's efficient.
Pirtle kicks to Bellinelli. Back to Pirtle. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist.
He's the one trying to keep them in this game, a tremendous individual effort.
The pass to Levine. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Levine's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
San Antonio calls timeout. The Italian Marco Bellinelli, one of the league's best sharpshooters, and Greg very comfortable shooting on the move.
He always seems to be floating one way or the other on his shot. It wouldn't work for most shooters, but he uses it to evade the D.
A different look now for San Antonio. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Gay. And it's DeRozan in for Bellinelli. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Back to DeRozan. It's over Clarkson. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. And he's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
That's all you. So it's Rubio bringing it up for the Chicago Bulls. 17 points was their biggest margin. Levine kicks to Rubio. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. 5 on the clock. Here's Clarkson. The rebound by the Spurs. Pirtle's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. And it's White missing. The Bulls leading by 14. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That's his first foul. Kelly Oubre's checked in for Clarkson. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Levine finds Love over Aldridge. And Kevin Love, the bucket with the assist by Levine. Levine's got his 6th assist on the night. Murray outside. Here's DeRozan, and Thompson sends it back.
Thompson is a more than capable defender. He has excellent length, and he uses that to swat away shots.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Foul. Elbow. 2.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
First one falls for him. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. There's 1:54 left to play here in the fourth. Murray against Rubio. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Here's Oubre. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Rubio's got 4 assists now tonight. 1:32 left in the fourth quarter. Murray, the pass to Pirtle. Outside for Murray. Oubre against DeRozan. 5 to shoot. And that's a foul called on Kelly Oubre. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Trey Lyles checked in for Pirtle. Johnson comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Walker's checked in for Derek White. And it's Bryn Forbes in for DeJounte Murray.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Bulls.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important. Here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Ricky Rubio.
Well, the biggest impact he had was with his on-the-ball defense. Such quick hands, his steals added up to a lot of extra possessions.
Now, here's Valentine. Trying to find Jones. He gets it to him. Here's Sharp. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
That's why they're in the driver's seat right now, looking to put this one away.
And the free throw, no good.
Well, I just like the all-around game Sark possesses. I mean, it translates well this day and age. He's a big man who can do it all. Score, pass, rebound, defend. He's tough.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. See you next time.